This is Solagbade again. Now, this time around, I'm going to dis- tell you a story, another story. But this story, rather than take you forward in my life, following my experience of getting asked to repeat secondary school, first year of secondary school, I'm actually taking you back to a time, I think about a year before I left primary school, um, in which I had a particularly um, eh, how do I put it now? It's even talking about it now still irritates me, but I feel a need to bring it up and to use it as a means of alerting a parent to the need she or he will have to carefully study his or her child and be sure he or she knows what his child is capable of, so that when a third party comes from anywhere whatsoever to accuse your child before you of something really, really, really outrageous, you will know what stand to take and not disappoint your child. So, in this clip, I'll be telling you the story, which I've actually written out as an article over, I think, a year ago now, since moving to Cotonou, here in Cotonou. I wrote the article and I titled it, "She Called Me a Peeping Tom." It's a true story, and I subtitled it, "What if this happened to your own 8-year-old child?" I really want you to listen to what I'm going to say in this short story, because I have actually seen it play itself out in the real world, and I've seen some parents who actually readily accepted what some outsider, a mischievous outsider for that matter, came and told them about their own child. And you can imagine just how betrayed the child felt and how rebellious he or she may decide to be as a result of that. It's something that can destroy the relationship between you and your child. And it can also destroy a child's belief in being good. If my parents can accept without questioning what an outsider who is disreputable comes to say, or who is mischievous, and that is known to everybody, and that person comes to my parents and says, "Oh, I've done X, Y, Z," and my parent never even bothers to check with me and simply accepts and then apologizes to the person and turns around to also rain abuses on me. I don't know how many children will look kindly on their parent for that. And I've seen that happen. I think it's very irresponsible to let such a thing happen. That is not to say that a child cannot be deceptive or mischievous, but the point I'm making is we owe our children a duty to believe in them. If we bring them up right, except we have good reason to believe otherwise, we should be able to stand by our children, especially when somebody comes and accuses them of something really grave, like you're going to hear in this clip. So here's what happened. This happened in 1978, round about that. I believe strongly. I still have, I think I can really reasonably recall that this was around when it happened, you know. And on that day, it was what I call my very first lesson in the University of Hard Knocks, about how bad things can happen to good people, or how an innocent person can sometimes get falsely accused without doing anything to warrant it. And if I recall correctly, it was my 4th year. No, I think it was my third or 4th year. Interestingly, this happened, it must have been a year or so before I got the double promotion thing. So it goes to show that the outcome of that incident didn't negatively affect me, and I was able to still deliver a performance that got me promoted twice. Anyway, I'm sharing this story because, like I said, I believe that parents need to invest quality time and effort into getting to know their kids. We need to make this effort so that we know them even better than their teachers or classmates. And that way, we'll be equipped to accurately determine what to believe if and when somebody comes to tell us things about them. Otherwise, we could lose their trust and that could result in avoidable problems in raising them to be responsible and competent adults. Right. And it was just another normal day in school in my life then. I mean, I was just this bookworm. I never did any other thing apart from reading. And I didn't do any sports at that time in my life. It was much later on that I became a very tough sports person. Okay, we had just resumed the first time I was in class listening to the teacher. And then I felt the need to ease myself. So, a lady whose name I can recall, that was our teacher. She gave me permission to go. I mean, when I raised my hand and said I needed to use the convenience. So I walked into the corridor and was soon in the toilet. During my short walk to the boys' room, I never noticed anyone following me out of the classroom. It was just me when I was going. And eventually when I returned to my seat, I didn't see anybody. Not long after I returned into the classroom, she walked in. I mean, this person, this classmate of mine, a girl. Believe me, until that incident happened, to be honest with you, I didn't even know who she was. I didn't know what her name was. This was her first time, this female classmate of mine, I never bothered to find out. Like I said, I didn't really know her. Not that it wasn't that I walked around with my eyes closed. Like I told you, I was just this bookworm. All I knew was just studying and studying and studying. Not a very good quality. Maybe that would have alerted me to the signs. Maybe I would have noticed she was following me and I would have tried. Anyway, things happen to teach us lessons as life has taught me. So, let's call her Alakoba. In the Yoruba language, Alakoba is a person that implicates you, often wrongly. So, what happened was she came into the classroom. You can see how I'm struggling to get around because I'm actually playing it back in my head. I still have this surge of rage running through me every time. This girl could have destroyed me. Imagine this happened to me as an adult. I could have been ruined. We have people who get accused of sexual, what do you call it, sex molestation or whatever is it. That's very famous, popular thing that it is used to destroy people's careers. As I think about it running through my mind now, I still feel the anger. Anyway, she walked into